Woo! What is up? So, let's get down to business. With a lot of big channels, there's a lot of small ones, ranging from 10,000 subs, 100,000 subs, which really isn't that small. But then you got some guys who probably have like 50 subs or, in my case, like 200 something subs. And I like watching those videos. There's especially a theme going on where you hear these titles along the lines of I'm 30, no friends, no job, no girlfriend. And some of them have some super black pill. And then some of them say, but I'm still happy. There's actually a song by Fall Out Boy that talks about how the best of us find happiness in misery. Or what dictates by societal standards as misery, because there's a lot of material expectations, even in these hard economic times we face, where, some people find happiness living in a cardboard box even. You'll learn that if you ever try to help a homeless person and you want to hear their story on how they ended up that way. But I think it's because they don't have this material expectation of stress always put on them. However, it just kind of shows me the other side, the non-glitz and glam side of society. Because we like to see the Katy Perry concerts and the Lady Gagas and the Doja Cats and all that stuff. That's all glitz and glam. The Taylor Swift, 2 million plus in the stadium or something like that. And we see these giant triumphs where your average, normal, ordinary person isn't living that glamorous lifestyle. Your average, ordinary person has a lot of doubts. And it's not just the men who post these videos, but sometimes women too have these thoughts. Like, where do I fit in? What's my purpose? Am I going to have a family? Those kinds of things. You realize that men and women are similar in a lot of ways. We're different in a lot of ways, but we're also very similar. People are people. But when I see those, it reminds me of when I was 24. Well, 23 actually. And I was in a very nasty relationship that was toxic, filled with lies, slander. And when that happens, you realize just how many friends get apathetic towards the fact that your character is being assassinated, to the point where you realize I was never partying with my friends. I was partying with people who paraded as my friends. And when I was 24, I made a very hard decision and cut all of them out and just kind of skipped on and did my own thing. Went to trade school, went to the gym more often, and had more time for myself. And I was more happy in isolation than I was in a shallow party structure. Because you could only do that party stuff so many times until you realize all the people you were associating there aren't looking for anything deep or meaningful in their life. Now, some are. Some people who met at those parties ended up having these families and stuff, fast forward. But a lot of it was just kind of like only for like a night where we have a good time. And then you would try and say hi to them on college campus and, But after I realized I was sleepwalking, it took a painful experience to realize I was sleepwalking. Betrayal. And I'm a big believer that whether you believe in God or not, let's say it's also the universe, just so we could be religiously inclusive, life will punish you until you learn your lesson. That no, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. You will be shown pain until you move on, and then that's how you find where you are. And with this whole nihilism push, right? You hear that from the Rick and Morty show, no one belongs anywhere, everyone's going to die. It has let a lot of people say, no, I don't belong anywhere, I have to make this work, which adds to that stress. But I'm going off on side tangents. I want to go to being 29 now. Do I have a job? Yes. It currently is in the trades realm, working on automobiles. And I've done trades ever since I was 24 to being 29. Even passed a few IT exams. So I'm qualified to work on computers. I spent my 20s very well. And even if you're 30 plus and haven't started yet, I just want to let you know it's not too late. It's not too late to turn it around. My grandfather was a bookkeeper until he was around 50 and decided to become an accountant. So don't even give me that garbage of it's too late to make a change. It's never too late to make a change. My grandfather told me when he was 28 he didn't know the difference between debit and credit. And that lesson's going to be with me for a very, very long time. But how am I 29, single, few friends, with a job, and happy? Probably because I realized that maybe I'm not ready for a relationship or life isn't going to throw the right person my way. Because I was in a relationship about a month or so ago, a couple months ago. Just recently ended it. And I made a video of it, describing the situation, how I was doing a lot for this person. Basically nursed them back to health when they needed it. Was their rock. But then I was in a scenario where I was treated like a dog. So I just said, I don't deserve this. Why? Because my job treats me well. My few friends who are like, I could be like this with in a lot of aspects. Now, we don't always agree on everything and we're not always on the same page. But you shouldn't burn a bridge just because you're not 100% like. Because that's the thing about us people. No one's 100% the same. I think that's the beautiful part about Western civilization that's very salvageable, that people tend to forget with all this doomer talk. But even if we're not 100% alike, which is impossible, I know who my friends are, because we could go weeks without talking, still reconnect and have meaningful hangouts where we really care about each other. Like, really care about each other. You know, and those people are out there. You just got to look. And when they show that they're not that person, you got to move on, dude. And I think that's the thing, is after finally finishing that toxic relationship at 29, because now I know who I am, that I've at least built myself up to a higher standard of when I started this self-improvement thing 5 years ago. I'm not perfect. There's never going to be perfection in my life, but I'm always going to strive to be better. That I still have a lot of salvageable things. And how do you get there? Well, when I was young, me and a lot of my friends, we would let our relationships go to garbage over things like women, over things like irresponsibility, over things like that. I have friends where I don't even let that be part. I don't even live with my friends. Because lending money is the number way to ruin a friendship. And you don't want to be caught in those give and take moments where it's like they're just take and not giving anything back. Because there comes a time where you got to like really wake up to it. I think that's the thing. Is, currently what I'm doing is something. I'm always going to be having a goal. That's another way I stay happy in a very lonely society. And to those of you who haven't even started yet, all you got to do is pick one area. Just one. Be it guitar, piano, welding, coding, something, photography, and you'll be surprised where it leads you. Because I see a lot of room for growth when I see someone who is 32, no friends, no nothing. I'm 29, I don't have it all figured out, but I could say I've got something. And my goal is to look at the people who have more than me and learn from them, but also help the people who haven't reached where I'm at and try and raise them a little bit. Or maybe if they don't have to listen to this message or watch the video and take it to heart. But if what I said rings with any of you, self-respect, hard work, have a goal, and when you get tired, rest. Give yourself credit for working, for improving, because we tend to be so hard on ourselves, we absolutely forget how far we've come. I used to be so hard on myself that I'm not doing enough yet. I just realized I'll never be doing enough. And I got to enjoy the process, the endless pursuit. But that's all I got to say. If you like this little rant, this tangent, leave a thumbs up, like, subscribe. But just know, society turns around when we choose to. And I know that there's not a lot of people turning around and there's a lot of people giving up. Don't be part of that group. Peace out.